Hello YouTube, this is Bash bringing you here for ASL Season Draft Analysis. We are here representing the New York Muse in this league, newly joined league. If you haven't seen the reveal for that, I highly encourage you to look at it. Um, this is going to be a very interesting draft, and there's a lot of great people in this community. They also have a YouTube channel, which I will post below in the description as well. But there's just a lot of great people in this community, and I'm so happy to be part of it. So, I just want to say that before we get into our team. So, there are, I believe, 14 players in this league, and we actually got the wheel pick, the last pick of the draft. That's perfectly fine. Now we get to build a really good core. So I was looking at things that were gonna fall. I was looking at, I believe, Megalopony to see if that was gonna fall. But the real thing where I wanted to see that to fall to me was Mega Gallade. I didn't think many other things were gonna fall to me during that. So, I mean, if something like fell from like Celesteela or something like that, that'd be so fire or so good for me. But looking at it realistically, I didn't think that was gonna happen. So with our first pick, we ended up grabbing Mega Gallade. Inner Focus, Lord Bash is here. I have used this in a Mon before, in a league that I did not actually upload, but this thing is a really good Mon. It has a lot of utility as well. It gets like Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that. And sorry about that, my throat's been kind of killing me. But Mega Gallade is just a beast. It hits so hard. It gets good setup with Swords Dance and Bulk Up. I have a couple unique sets I do not want to reveal on this in this draft analysis in case I actually end up using it, because I really want to catch my opponents off guard with this, because this thing is a monster. There's been a lot of debate between who is the better Mega Gallade, or Megalopony. Honestly, I think they do two different things. But what Mega Gallade does is he's one of the best mons that does it in the draft league format. So unique, so good. Very happy that I was able to grab it. So then came the next pick. I had the wheel pick, so this pick and the next pick were back to back. So I decided to grab Tornadus Therian Crypto here. Tornadus Therian's amazing. I love this mon. I was so happy to get it because I love this mon, honestly. Crypto vibes got me into this Pokemon, and I'm really happy I started using it. It hits really good. I love the regenerator aspect of it. It's such a fast mon. Hurricane Span is so good. It gets the proper coverage moves to hit the mons that it can't usually hit with Hurricane, which is really nice. So this thing is just a monster. It gets Defog, gets U-Turn, and Regenerator with U-Turn I think is just absolutely amazing. I'm just so excited to use this Pokemon again. It can be bulky too, which is really nice, especially with the Regenerator. It's kind of bulky. Gets good utility as well with taunt. Its coverage move pool is absolutely amazing. But what it really does is it forces in those steel types for Mega Gallade to just completely just mollywop them, which is absolutely amazing for my team. The Tornadus Mega Gallade core, because what really switches in on Tornadus Therian are Electric, Rock, and Steel types. I could U-turn out if there's a Rock or a Steel type kind of thing, and get into Mega Gallade for free and just close combat them to oblivion. So that's absolutely amazing for us. I think that's amazing core right there. And then the next pick, I actually do fix the electric type as well with that problem. But we do have to wait. I believe it is 26 picks ish. I guess you could say. Yeah, I think it's 26 picks, and we finally get back to us. And I was stuck at a crossroads right now. I was trying to decide whether I should get Alolan Muck or Crocodile. But before I mention which I get, I forgot to mention that this draft is really interesting because there's 4 tiers in this league. There's tier A, tier B, tier C, and tier D. Tier A, um, tier A you can only have 2 Pokemon. Tier B you can have 3 Pokemon. Tier C you can have you have to have 4 Pokemon, and tier D you have to have 3 Pokemon. So it kind of formed us to be able to get a lot more utility out of some of the lower tier mons. But also there comes a Z Crystal rule with this, where you can only have a Z Crystal on either tier A or tier B. Then you can have one in tier C and one in tier D. So Torn T is my Z user for tier A/B, meaning that I can't grab any other Z user. I can't make any other Pokemon from tier A or tier B a Z user. So that's really good, something to note. But I think Torn T is the best Z user on our team anyway. So I kind of had to go with it anyway. So going to our next pick, I did say that I was looking at a Little Muck or Crocodile, which way to go. I thought Little Muck was better for more of a defensive standpoint, and Crocodile is better for more offensive, and is able to stop the electric type spam as well. So I decided to go with Crocodile. I think I wanted it more because of the Stealth Rock's utility as well, and be able to put a stop to those electric type moves. Crocodile is really good, especially for Mega Glade, since it's able to Pursuit Trap those Psychic types that do not want to. Oh, sorry. There we go. Crocodile is able to Pursuit Trap those Psychic types that give Mega Glade issues. It's able to deal with those Rock, Steel, and Electric types that Tornadus does not want to deal with either. So I think Crocodile fits the team a lot better. It gives us an Intimidate user, which is always amazing. And Moxie, Scarf Moxie, or Bandit, whatever set you want, Crocodile can do it with Moxie. It's so nice. And of course, we have 3 Pokemon now with Knockoff, which is absolutely amazing for our team. Knockoff pressure is amazing in this format to be able to figure out what items, figure out what sets they are based off the items and stuff. So I think that's really important for this league format. And we already start off the draft with 3 different knockoff users. So I think that really accomplished that. So to pair with this Pokemon, we decided that I wanted to get another Stealth Rocker here. And I wanted something to be able to switch into some of the water type moves. Bulky Waters could be really annoying for this core. Some of the ground, I wanted to be able to force out bulky waters and bulky ground types as well. So I ended up deciding grabbing Celebi. I know this is a double psychic here, but I think Celebi fits really well with this team. With the ability, with its utility, or also its setup opportunities, and not to mention, actually, I'll get into that later. Never mind. I'll wait till later to talk about that, just in case I don't want to reveal exactly what Green Lantern's able to do this season. But Celebi is a beast. Base 100 stats all around. I've gotten a pretty fast team so far, and Celebi is. I've used it I think once before, but not really. I picked it up I think at the end of the season of a league before I did YouTube, so I didn't really get to use it to its full potential at all. But I think Celebi is a very intriguing and interesting mon. It has a lot of good utility, has a really good offensive power, it has really good setup as well. So I think that this mon is going to be very difficult to prep for. Although it does have that weakness to U-turn, I have Tornadus that can switch into U-turn pretty easily, and some other mons we'll see later is able to deal with U-turn as well. So that's that. Then we had to wait another 20. What did I say again? It was 26 picks ish. So, and I decided to grab this fat, thick mon just to add to a more of a defensive core. Because at this point, I have a lot of offense here, and I guess Celebi can be kind of defensive, I guess. But most of my team is more offensive, I would say, at this point. So I decided to grab a little more for my defensive core, and I grabbed Snorlax. Thick with 2 C's. I probably should make it 3, but we're going to go with 2 C's because that's usually what I nickname it. Snorlax is actually a monster. It's so difficult to break through with the curse set. Iapa Berry. You could have different options with Snorlax. It could be like a really defensive set. You could have with Whirlwind and stuff like that, but it also can be a really good setup set with Curse, which is usually what it's seen with like Rest Sleep Talk or like Rest with Chesto, or Iapa Berry Recycle Set Curse, which is absolutely terrifying for opponents to deal with because once you get up a Curse, it's going to be really difficult to break, especially with that HP and Spadef stat combined. It makes it this really difficult to hit on the special time side, and with the Curse, you're able to boost up the defense side. So it's going to be very difficult for people to break through this. And I think some of my other mons are able to deal with the Snorlax's weaknesses really well, as 3 out of the 4 mons I picked earlier are able to deal with that fighting weakness very well. Mega Glade forces out fighting types all the time with its psychic coverage. Torn T just laughs at fighting types, and Celebi able to put on a lot of pressure on those fighting types with the psychic stab, as well as like other coverage moves as well. So I think Snorlax is going to fit this team really, really well. I'm hoping that we can pull off some sweeps or some fun sets with it. I have some plans with Snorlax. Do not want to reveal them as of now because I do not want my opponents knowing what I want to use for this, but that's that. With this, with the wheel pick, we also grabbed Jolteon, which is very, I think, I really wanted Jolteon. I think it was very key to the team as it's a C tier. And I think it's C as a C tier. I think it's very low. I think it's more value than a C tier. I guess it's kind of difficult to tell because like I think it should be like a tier between B and C for Jolteon, but it's besides the point. Um, Jolteon is a very fast electric that I love using. With the Volt Absorb, it's really nice to help with the electric types that Torn doesn't want to deal with. It takes some pressure off of Crocodile for what it could do for electric types, and I think it really helps with Volturn, which my team has a somewhat. So like I have Torn T, Celebi, and Jolteon. Volturn, very fast Volturn to be honest, which is absolutely amazing for my team because now my team, if you look at it right now, 4 of the first 6 mods are over base 100, and one of them is only base 92. And Snorlax is just slow, but that's besides the point. So I have a very fast team at this point, and it is going to get a little faster, spoiler. But I really like the speed on this team, and it's able to force out those bulky waters too. And it has a good utility options, and I believe it gets Wish, it gets Heal Bell, which is very interesting to note. Maybe I might be using that one week. We'll see. Depends on the set. And Quick Feet. Quick Feet is very interesting for this kind of mod because now it boosts this mod to even faster speeds, which is absolutely amazing. May help me deal with some threats I do not want to reveal, but I feel pretty good about Jolteon on this team. And it's able to Volt Switch me out to things like Celebi or Torn. And I know there's ground types really switch into this pretty well, but I think I have ways around it with some of my mons like Torn and Celebi. So that's that. Jolteon Mayhem is rejoining the ASL Season 7 New York Muse team. So going on to the next, this is right here, right like after this pick, everything just got sniped. Oh my god! Like there was like maybe 3 mons that I grabbed from the rest of the draft that was part of my plan after this mon. So, and we still have half the draft to go. So that tells you how much I got sniped at this point. What I really wanted was Dragouge right now. I was gonna grab Dragouge. Very good for T spikes. Hits super hard. It gives me the poison dragon type that I really needed. I wanted on my team. Absorbs T spikes, which is nice and stuff like that. But that gets sniped. Then my backup option for it was to go with Venomoth. And a little bit before my picks, I think, was it this round? No, yeah, right before this round. I think it was right before this round. Venomoth, like right before my next pick, Venomoth got sniped as well. So we are not looking so hot in this tier right now, in this draft. And I had to make some crazy maneuvers to try to figure out what to do here at this point. And I think that kind of rushed me a little bit into making some picks that I kind of did not want to make in that order, and caused me to get sniped even more. But there's nothing I can do about that now. But my next pick adds a little more speed to it. It kind of helps with it gives me two typings that I kind of wanted for this draft, and that is Salazzle with Fire Poison. As you know, we have that in Crash Season 2. Um, and it's very good mod, I think, and it adds a lot more speed to my team. As you looked, this team is so fast, but Salazzle I think adds a lot more setup opportunities as well as breaking opportunities. This thing is very good. It has a lot of good utility as well, and Corrosion. I think Corrosion's amazing with like being able to toxic steel types and poison types. So that can come in really in handy at some point this season. So I'm very excited for this mod, and hopefully it could really hopefully it can help us pull out some dubs. I also made this my Z Crystal user from the C tier. I think Salazzle with the Z move could be really nice compared to my other options in this tier, as Jolteon was in C tier, and uh, what else was there was another mod, two more mods coming up for it, and I didn't like those other two mods as users, so that I went with Salazzle. I think it's the best choice, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it this season. With this, I should have waited on this Pokemon the next pick. I should have grabbed this other Pokemon right here, but I was in the middle of panic mode, rebuilding our team, rebuilding my entire rest of the draft, and I panicked and I grabbed Doublade. Doublade fits my team pretty well. I think I should have waited on it. I think I could have waited on it, but this thing is a bulky thing. Oh my god, with Eevee, like this thing takes hits with like I didn't even realize that Doublade defense stat is 150. Like that's just absolutely insane. Now this thing is very it's not very versatile, but it doesn't really need to be, because it's able to do what it does very well, I think, and it really helps out my team with its kind of weaknesses that it has. My team has the weaknesses my team has. It's able to switch into a lot of things. It does cause me to have some knockoff pressure, but I think I fixed up a little bit with that, some of the end of the draft. So that's with Doublade. Doublade is a monster we're naming after Ronin, from um, the new Endgame Avengers. I don't know if you saw that, but the trailer, but Ronin was shown in it. So that's who this Pokemon's gonna be named after. Never used Doublade before, so this is a very new experience. So this should be a lot of fun. So we'll see. Um, so coming back here, um, as I said before, I should have waited on this mod, and I should have gotten Drampa. Now Drampa was kind of important for my draft. I think it could have made things a lot better for me, and because it was sniped, it made things very weird at the end of the draft, I would say. Um, at this point, I should have grabbed Drampa, and I should have waited for Doublade for maybe a couple rounds. I didn't think it was. I just panicked at the moment. It was right before my pick. And all these picks just got sniped. So I should have waited, but oh well, we can't change that now. But we do actually bring back Amon Blastboy's Shell Shock. Shell Shock is absolutely amazing. I love this mon. Rapid Spin has a lot of good utility, and coverage moveset is absolutely phenomenal, especially with how like it works with Mega Blastoise gets a lot of good coverage for that Mega Launcher. So Blastoise gets that too. So that's absolutely amazing. And this is actually able to run leftovers or assault vest or whatever you need for this match, for these matches, and it's just so good. It really is. Its abilities aren't really that helpful, but I think it doesn't really need the abilities as much. It's more of what it does for a team, and it's a good spin option for my team. as well as a really bulky water. I think people underestimate this mon's bulk because it really can take a lot of hits. And with the core I have right now, I think it's gonna perform really well, honestly. So, um, with this came another Pokemon we decided to get, and this is to help with the knockoff weakness a little bit, and that is Gramble. Gramble Ripjaws is here with the Intimidate. So now I have an Intimidate core with Crooked Out and Gramble, which I think is absolutely amazing. Um, yes, this doesn't get any reliable recovery, but I have a Z Crystal on it, and there could be things like I could run Z Heal Bell. I could run this thing gets really good coverage as well. It's like it gets absolutely phenomenal coverage, which is absolutely amazing. And don't rest on that attack. Like this thing can hit hard too with one base 120 attack. Um, I think I really enjoy the Intimidate on it. It helps with those really scary dragon types. So I really hope this does well this match. These matches, I'm gonna bring it. Never used Gramble before. Um, at this point, there was not many fairy types left. There was like Aromatisse, I think, and Comfey. But I decided to go with Gramble. I didn't think the other two were as good. And Gramble is a D tier mon, while um, at this point we didn't. I believe we had used up all of our C tiers anyway. So Comfy and Aromatisse were C tier mons. Gramble was D, so that's why I went with Gramble. So, and that's our third and final Z Crystal user. So that's just to say. So these last two picks, very interesting because Drampo was supposed to be one of them, but it got sniped, as I said before. Was looking at maybe getting like some ice type mon in tier D. But because of the Drampa snipe, I had to switch things around. And we actually decided to grab Volbeat. Now, Volbeat is really good for this league, I think, because it's able to tail glow pass. And that's really good for my team, I think, especially since a lot of my mons could really appreciate that boost. Imagine like switching to a +3 Jolteon, or like that's just really difficult to do. Like this thing is really good with the tail glow passing, but it also has a lot of good utility as well with Defog, U-turn, Defog, Encore, Thunderwave, things like that, and it gets reliable recovery and roost. So like this thing has a lot of options it can do. Uh, and it can be a very good defensive option as well. I don't need to run tail glow on this thing to be really good. Although its special attack is very pitiful, it's able to do things like it's able to be a really good utility mon for my team. And I think things like Mega Glade really appreciate this kind of mon, and it forces a lot of good. It forces a very different outlook of prep when you have to worry about tail glow passing from my team. So that's something to say. And last pick, at this point, there wasn't much left in Tier D that I was really looking at. I think we were looking at Lapras at some point. We were looking at, I believe, Abomasnow as well. But we decided to go a different path. I noticed for my team I did not have a Spikes or a T-Spike user. So that's where the direction I went. But then I realized that this mon in Tier D is pretty decent. Like it's kind of fast, I would say too. It's on a more faster side. It does not break base 100, but it's kind of on the faster side, and it does provide us T spikes, which I would love to have T spikes on this team. For things like wearing things down for like Torn and Mega Glade. Oh my god! Imagine, that's gonna be really rough. But we decided to grab Frogadier, Honey Smacks. Frogadier is really, I think, is a really low key good mon, with the ability to run Protean, for this league. Base 97 speed's kind of bad, but like it's fine. It's workable, and it's be able to. It doesn't have much priority, which is all right, but that's fine too. Um, it's really what it really does well is setting up T spikes and being able to switch moves around and get that extra Protean boost, which makes this thing very interesting to build for. It's basically like playing against last version of Greninja, and I think that people really need a prep for this because this thing could be really scary. As I don't know if any of you guys know this, but in the UPC season was it 3 or 2? Season 2, I used a Frogadier to take down a Mewtwo. So I think people underestimate Frogadier and its worth in draft league format. It's especially only if it's only really good with the Protean, to be honest. But I still think that people underestimated it too much, and I'm really looking forward to showing them that Frogadier is a lot more than what it seems. And I think it's for what happened in the end of the draft with how many snipes we got from that area. I do think that we actually ended up with a pretty good draft, honestly, with the amount of snipes we got. Very unique and different draft, but very solid and strong draft, I think. There was a couple of things I would have wanted to get. I was kind of hoping for a Wish Passer, but that didn't work out. So, but that's fine. I don't think our team needs a Wish Passer to function. I think it's really good on its own, and I think there's a lot of good synergy that comes along with my draft that is able to put a lot of pressure into opponents building for my team, from the team. I am always looking to get into playoffs first, so that is the goal of the season: make playoffs. Once we get to playoffs, then we could ease off a little bit and then focus from there on winning the championship, one game at a time. So I think this is a team that can actually do that, but it's going to take a lot of building, and hopefully we can pull out a lot of dubs. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but we actually do have the week 1 matchups already. We are actually playing up against one of my mentors, I guess, Brad, and oh my god, I was so excited to battle him. Have not battled him before. He helped me out in UPC season 3 for building and helped me with that team a lot. And now we get to battle our mentor. So this should be fun, exciting, and I'm ready to roll. Let's go, New York Muse. Thank you for watching. Bash out.